Mm. Hello and welcome back to the Madeherselfaboss podcast, where we discuss mindsets and methods to making more money as usual. Today, of course, we're going to be talking about money and the way that we view it, the way that we view getting it, right? So we focus so much about how to get to the money, what we going to do with the money, the money, the money, the money, the money. But there could be just a little adjustment, a minor but major adjustment when it comes to how we think about money and bringing it in. And this adjustment, not doing so, could be the reason why you're not attracting more money into your life. So I'm the one who's going to be telling you the money really isn't the problem. The money itself is not the problem. The money going to be there. It's the mindset. It's the mindset. And that's shocked, right? We're always talking about mindset, right? But in today's episode, I love the deeper depth that we're going to be going into with it about the purpose of it, the purpose of why you're doing what you're doing, and how money is just really a result of a bigger plan with what you're doing with your business.
Yeah, I love how you said that. And when it comes to that, because like Bree said, money's never the issue, it's your mindset. I think about how the deeper inner work, or maybe people might say the softer side of entrepreneurship, that has to be done in order to see more of it, right? One thing can be like sales, shifting, selling to serving. I feel like we did have an episode when we went in depth about doing that, but just to reiterate in this episode about how when you think of sales, it's not a scary thing. It's a sexy thing that we like to say, but it's serving. When you shift the way you think about how selling something or sales itself is truly serving a person to their transformation, to their expectation of what they desire for themselves, then what are we really talking about? We're really serving and helping and aiding that person to their next best level in their life. Like if you look at it like that.
I even like thinking about that as a motivator. Some days, despite what I don't care what nobody says, some days saying, oh, money's the motivation. It's not always like that every single day.
No, it's not.
Sometimes the stress that may come with it, even if you're working in ease, that doesn't mean that it's going to be free from stress sometimes. Let's just keep it 100. It's not going to be free from stress every single day.
No.
And so sometimes you're going to be thinking about that a little bit more than the money. Like, so just to leave money as the motivator sometimes it's not good enough. When you're thinking about the bigger purpose of things, that really pushes you into it. Like I'm genuinely helping someone with my service. I even think about, and I say this all the time, when I show up to a set, my favorite part is not the editing. My favorite part is not like any of the stuff. It's being on set and I have this woman in front of me. She may not be the most comfortable in front of camera, but just seeing her open up as I'm clicking just does it for me. Like showing her how she looks, talking life into her. I'm the biggest hype person on set.
Very much so.
I'm the biggest hype person on set.
Your hype woman.
Like, hey, yes, girl. Like that's my thing because I love my service and what I feel like I do comes even before the deliverables. It's that experience. And so like that motivates me when I go to set. And then them just having that something to keep, something to post is just an afterthought. And then of course the money, that comes in. With that sales conversation, it was a motivator there, but that just comes with it too. So I challenge you to really dig deeper into that problem that you're solving and the service that you're delivering and how you're delivering it and things like that. And use some of that as a motivation too. If you don't have any sort of satisfaction with what you're doing, I even question, is this what you really want to be into?
Good.
Just having the money as the motivator. Do you know anyone who buys into businesses or does anything just simply because they know that it pays well, but actually does nothing for them personally?
I personally don't, because it always has to be more than just money for why you're doing the things that you're doing. Because not every day is a great day at all. But money can't be your main motivator or the first motivator. And then people are not always motivated by money either. You know what I mean? So even knowing what motivates you, and it's okay, your mind can change because you evolve too. So if you were doing a service and selling at this season of your life, business life, whatever, and you're starting to feel a shift in you and you're like, this is not what you want to do, that's okay.
It is okay.
Like, you can change your mind, you can evolve to something different and change. That's nothing wrong with that. Like, no one says do the same thing if it's not serving you anymore. So I think that's also a thing too when you think about selling. Is it serving you as much as it's serving the client? Yeah. Is it serving you as much as it's serving the client? And if you get a hard no on yourself, then you're not really serving the client either.
Message.
So, I think about when it's serving you, what also serves us is the fact that we do get paid to solve a problem, right? And there are areas, feast and famine, areas where we feel like the money is just, it's not going up, it's not going down, it's just there. It's just there. And we're unable to figure out why my money is not moving. And when we say money moving, we're like, something is shifting where I'm seeing a constant increase, I'm seeing a flow, those types of things. So that's what we mean by money movement. And when I think about money movement, I think about how you actually have the power to make your money move. And if you're feeling stuck or challenged on why it's not moving, let's talk about that. Let's talk about why is it not moving. It could be not moving for a bunch of reasons. It could be you, why it's not moving. I think about, to make money move, I got to spend it. Money has to circulate, the law of circulation, and something. So who owes you? I mean, who owes you? Lord, who do you owe? What needs to be paid out? Or even say that you don't owe anybody anything, tithing. The money that you are wanting or desiring to come in, money can move by you tithing that amount. Tithe that 10% amount into something that you believe in, into a person, into an organization, into a church, whatever you feel that need or that slight tug to do so. Do that, because you're making money move, because money always has to be forever moving. And just so we are clear, money is not the tangible greenish looking paper that we hold in our hands. It's literally energy. I was reading a book that I will reference called Happy Pocket Full of Money. Is that he said 1.4 or 4% of the money is actually in hand. Everything else is literally not here. It's like an imagination of something else. Money is never really here, and talking about how 9 times out of 10, money is all about the way you see yourself. So if you see yourself as undeserving or unworthy of so much money, then guess what? Your money is not going to move, right? So think about that when you're talking about making money move. Also, like, do you have something that people can pay you for?
Right.
Something that's worth paying for.
Do you have some? Yeah, exactly like she said it. Do you have something that is actually going to affect them, improve their lives, benefit them by buying into the service? I mean, that's really what it comes down to. Ever since Shy first started talking to me about the movement of money, right? And it just opened up so many doors for me, and it made so much sense. Once you become a business owner, I look at everything differently. The person who works in a restaurant, the person who has any kind of business that I've purchased from, I'm thinking from also a business owner, this little tip could be helpful. They can invest with this. It just changes.
It changes how you
if you go out with other people who don't own businesses and just have this conversation, like while you're in the restaurant, like the conversation is so different. Like, why you want to tip that much? Or why you want to do this? Why you want to do that? Because you have so much consideration now for the person who's running this establishment, for the person who's providing this service. So,
and even if they did not the best stellar service, because we think differently, we think about abundance. And because we want the money to circulate back to us, we go tip that 20%, whether it was stellar or not. So like you said, you're right. The conversation is always different because the mind frame of what we're doing with our money is always going to be different.
It's a different vantage point at this point. And it's just good old, treating people the way that you want to be treated. You're not always going to have your best 100% day, but you still got to get paid. Yeah. Hopefully you've messaged and conveyed in a compelling manner, what your intention was, and just trying your best to deliver that service. And if they still see it, they still benefit from it.
There you go.
That's it.
Yeah. Another way to make your money move is investing. Are you investing?
Yes.
Are you investing in programs? Are you investing in things that make you better inside and out? Like, what are you doing to release that money, right? Because remember, money needs to move. That means you need to be investing. And then when you invest in programs, you know, the return on investment is going to be you making more money, right? And having the mindset of that, you are going to be making more money when you do that. And then there's also the cost of inaction, COI. When you don't invest, when you don't do the things you know you're necessary to do for your business to grow, what is going to happen? So when you don't do that, all of these things will happen because you decided not to take that issue, right? So thinking about money movement, are you investing in things to help your business grow, to help yourself grow? Because 9 times out of 10, it's not about the money, it's literally you. Right? Are you harboring on unforgiveness? That stops your money, right? Are you not forgiving yourself for what you allowed or the part that you played or for the thoughts that you had that were causing casual covenants over yourself? I can't do that. I'm not that good. No one's going to buy. I'm not that smart. Those things that you said to yourself stops your flow of money. It stops your abundance. I also think about times that I said that to myself. Like, who's going to listen to me? Who's not going to listen to me? And a way to check yourself if you are in alignment or in the abundance, change the I am to God is. And if that statement doesn't make sense, check yourself, right? I am stupid. No, God is stupid. Who am I? God is not. You know what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't make sense. So why would you even say it over yourself when you are not that? So that's just a way I do to check myself on things when I say things just casually, consciously. I'm saying these things and I check myself in the moment, redirection, so that I'm saying something else, because we all know we have what we'll say. We have what we say.
You gotta make that money move. Even when you said, just adding this on in case it's a good soundbite. When you said like you were actually painting the picture of, you know, money not going up, money not going down, it's just staying right here. There has to be something that disrupts that from going on. There has to be some kind of intervention, and it's either going to be a mindset intervention, most likely going to be a money intervention. Like you said, doesn't mean that you have to invest in something that's going to spike that. Do you need to take some money out of here and put it over there? There needs to be some sort of like intervention just from keeping it being so stagnant. You want some lines going up. You want to see that chart going up. So you can't live in fear of making that change. And that's all I had to say.
Well, Brittany. So with that being said, we're going to take a quick commercial break and be right back so that you get more of this money stuff so that your money can be forever flowing as it should be.
Hey girl, listen, not only do you deserve a business that serves you financially, you also deserve a community where you are making meaningful, impactful, and profitable connections. And for that reason, the Madeherselfaboss Mixer is back.
We just got out of it. One, so much sisterhood in the room. Everybody was really supporting each other, giving each other different ideas.
Yes, just like the last one, you'll have the opportunity to mingle, connect, and learn something from our interactive cash flow conversation. Only this time, we're including some special extras, so get excited for that too. Meet us at the Mixer on May 18th in downtown Wilmington to connect with the community of women entrepreneurs that you've been looking for by grabbing your free ticket in the description box below. See you there.
Be at the next event.
Yep. Hey guys, we're back for the rest of the episode.
Yeah, so I thought it would be cool to like dive into some myths. And you may think of some that we didn't think of. If you do, write them in the comments so we can add them to our next one. On about some things about money, right? Besides us knowing that money is forever around us, it's energy. But I was thinking about when it comes to money, that money is your birthright. So I think sometimes whether we come from money or we don't come from money or whatever in between of those things, that we may feel that we're not deserving of all of this money.
Right.
We have to do a lot of things to get a certain amount of money. Where if you sit in the energy that it's my birthright, that money is a lesser thing, I think it would raise your vibration on what could come into your life's experience.
Yeah, I mean, I absolutely agree. I mean, I'm always thinking about the self-worth aspect of it. And so who is to say that wealth and money and an easy life just belongs to certain people,
Right.
and that the hard life, the always have to struggle and strive life is for you or
Yeah.
it's for a particular person.
Right.
So I absolutely agree. I think that we realize we all have the potential and it's already within us and it's already deserving of us to be in those positions. All we have to do is put the right things in place.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing. I mean, literally you're holding yourself back by not thinking that way.
And always, I think about the saying, "See yourself the way God has always seen you." The same with money. He talks about money, wealth, and possessions 2,300 times in the Bible because he wants us to have it. It's that. Think about it. If God created this whole earth, everything in between, right, and He created us just a little bit lesser than the angels, doesn't that mean we're gods of this earth and we can command what we desire for ourselves? So if that's the case, then why, when it comes to money, we feel different, right? So also check yourself with that too. So raise and know that money is your birthright. You are destined to have all of it that you desire to do it. Now, of course, all that comes with how you think about the subconscious mind and all that stuff that we got into earlier. But yes, it is deserving of it. So that is one money myth. The second one that I can think of talks about raising your money level. So I'm going to make it up. If you consciously say, I want to make X amount of figures in my business or in my life, whatever, right? But you subconsciously don't believe it, you just stopped yourself from doing it.
Right.
So you have to raise the amount. If you feel like it's a lot, if you even feel that is a lot, whatever that figure number that you want it to be, if you feel like it's a lot, then you will never touch it because you feel like it's a lot and the energy that you're putting out. So subconsciously, you're going to be doing things to never reach it, not knowing that because you already are having the feelings. You know, our feelings becomes our beliefs becomes our actions, the lack thereof, all of that. Because you already subconsciously think that the desired income that you want to make is so much money.
It's so not attainable. And, you know, we say a lot when you're setting your goals, making a number that feels good for you. And do not confuse that with us saying a number that's like low.
Right.
Just so that, I could just reach. All I have to do is like reach over here and grab it. Like still make it a challenge, of course, because we are here about up leveling and growing. If you're not evolving, you're shrinking.
Yeah.
Right. But make it a number that feels good to you. Don't just throw out, I want $1 billion this year. Because not to say that you can't win the lottery and you know do something.
Right.
But a number that you know with the right things in place, with my diligence, with my discipline, with my proper planning, I will reach that goal.
Yeah.
And it's enough of a challenge that is going to push me. And then the year after that, because I've had that push, because I now have these skills to improve myself, I'm going to do even better the next year. But start off with a number that is challenging but feels good to you so that your actions can reflect, I'm going to achieve this number. All I have to do is just make my actions and my choices reflect.
Oh my God, you just made me think of something. When you do what you just said, be ready for the challenges that come to get to the number. Because it's never about the money, it's about who you become until you get to that goal.
Yes.
So when you're declaring that you want to be a millionaire, you're declaring that you want to do these things, right? Be prepared to be challenged in all the ways.
Yes.
Mentally, spiritually, physically, when you get on the journey to making that goal. So, you know, they say, be careful what you ask for. So what we're going to say is what you ask for, be prepared for what's going to happen on the journey to get there. I just want to make sure.
Oh, good.
We say that.
Today.
Okay. So another one that I'm thinking about is it goes back to, you know, all things in this episode is a mindset, but raising your worthiness, your worthy and deserve level for it. I think a lot of times we are vibrating here low. Safe when it comes to money, when we should be raising it on a consistent basis. And it goes back to the last one we're talking about, raise the amount. And if you feel like it's so much, then you won't reach it. But raise how you feel about it, because sometimes people will get it and feel like, I'm not worthy of this. Why do I have this? You know, so thinking about a lot of the inner work that has to do with the amount of money you want to come into your life's experience, right? So we encourage you and challenge you to raise your personal deserve level and worthy level of it, because yes, you're worthy of it and then some. But we can't, not necessarily convince, we can't do that for you. You have to do that for yourself and know in your subconscious mind, because your subconscious mind is the mind that takes everything for what it is, right? And that's the one that's really making the decisions happen in your life, right? But you have to know it deep down that you are worthy and deserving of the figures, the millions, the billions that you desire for yourself, not us. So I'm going to tell you to raise your deserve level and worthiness level, because when it comes to you, we don't want you to be stagnant with it. We don't want you to feel like, oh my God, I have it. I don't deserve it.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
So that was a word.
So then we'll go into, so now that you've done all those things and we squashed the myths of money. And if you think of some, like add it into it so that we can talk about it maybe on IG Live or something else that we can have the conversation, because we like to talk back. So make sure, leave some in the comments. But as we talk about money movement, the types of money that you want, money that you want to come into your life's experience, it all boils down to money consciousness, aka the relationship with money that you have.
Ooh.
Do you have a good relationship with money? And when we talk about a good relationship with money, like, we do this exercise with a lot of the women that we have at our events. Who is somebody who do you love the most? What's that first person that came to your mind when I said that? Who do you love the most? How does that person make you feel? What are good things about them? Like, tell us about it, right? Mm-hmm. Write it out. We interactive. Write it out. Change that person's name to money. Read the whole statement all over again. How does that make you feel, right?
And if it makes you feel awkward, chances are you still have some work to do. I want to say you have a bad relationship with money, but you may still have some work to do when it comes to money. Mm-hmm. When you start looking at money, you're like, it's always going to be there when I need it. Mm-hmm. It is providing a great life for me. Mm-hmm. It is there for me, Mm-hmm. That's when you know that you have a good relationship with money and that you've developed it. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's because it's not an overnight process. No. It's something that needs to be developed. It's something that you can take the money that's already coming into your life right now. Look at how you're treating it. Look at how you're handling it. Look at how you're divvying it up. Because if you can't handle what you're currently making, how can you expect to better handle bigger amounts of money? Yeah. If someone just dropped $100,000 into your pocket and went into your bank account right now, like, what would you do with that?
Yeah,
and a big tell of what you would do with that is what you're already doing with the income that you have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think about relationship. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it a thin line between love and hate? Like, what's your relationship, right? And you have to date money. Yes, you have to date money.
You have to date money.
You got to take it on a date. You got to spend time with it. Like, when you are dating, what are the things that mean the most? The time spent, the things that you're doing, how that person makes you feel, right? Safe, seen, heard, all the things. You have to do the same thing for money. You got to spend time with it, right? And a couple of ways that we're saying you should date money or spend time with money, because that may sound a little
weird,
different,
awkward, but we're going somewhere. We are.
Just keep following. It's spend time with it. So the ways you can do that is looking at not say every morning, but look at your bank accounts, even if it's not the amount you want to see, even if it's negative, even if it's just not there. Open it up, look at it. I say a little prayer. I say, hey, God, I need you to multiply, make this fruitful so I can impact more myself and others. Even if it's the amount I don't want to see, I do that. I spend time with it. I spend more time with it because I read about it, right? To understand it, because it's not what society says it is. It's something totally different. And when you have that understanding and knowledge within yourself, it changes your whole perspective on what you do with it, like Brittany was talking about earlier. So I spend time with it. I read about it. I educate myself. We talked about investing. To make money move, you have to invest.
Right.
Invest in yourself by reading. What are some literature pieces that you can read to learn more about it, right? I also journal about it. So when I was having difficulties in my season of hardships, I wrote a little cuss me out letter to money. I sure did. I cussed money all the way out. I was upset. Why weren't you there? Why aren't you here now when I need it? You're not, I wrote it all out. And then let me tell you what else I did. I wrote a cuss out letter to money and I burned it. I watched it burn, because it does something to your brain when you are writing it. And then when you're taking action to let it go, to release it. Mm-hmm. So I watched it burn. And then I wrote a love letter to money, right?
Yeah, and a whole love-hate relationship with money that day.
The little bipolar is right there. And I wrote the letter, and I've watched and felt my body, because everything we need is in our bodies. God made us so good that our bodies are computers, right? And I felt myself feeling better when I wrote that love letter. I even dedicate myself, just so y'all think I ain't want to be playing with you. Because, I feel like marble makes me feel a little luxurious and pretty and stuff. So it's a little marble, little notebook, you know what I'm saying? And, I'm feeling my little, don't be zooming in, a lot of little stuff up in here, you know what I'm saying?
Blur it out.
Blur out. But, the point is that I'm spending time with it, because what you focus on expands. So I'm focusing on bettering my relationship with it, because for me, my relationship it's not bad. It's not the best. It's not the best in the world. So what am I going to do to fix that? And what am I going to do to have a deep dive to understand why do I feel like that? Because I ain't going to hold you like I don't have the best relationship in the world with money. I'm still learning and I'm still evolving with it. So those are the things I do. I told you about educating myself, and Brittany does this too. This is the book I'm reading. It's called A Happy Pocket Full of Money, Infinite Wealth and Abundance in the Here and Now. That's the book I'm reading. And then if you notice, let me not lose my page, because, I will lose it. This is my bookmark. Having a physical representation of something that you desire. My bookmark is $1 million bill. Looks real, right? And that's what I do to remind myself of the flow and the abundance that I want to keep around me, and the money that is circulating around me. I'm forever increasing that because of the things I'm doing to better my relationship with money.
I love that you're educating yourself on it more. So I'm rereading Pay Yourself Profit First, rereading that.
Good source.
Because you can, and that's the thing, keep consistent with learning about something. And sometimes you have to go back and reread it. Because I've read this book, but I just felt the need to, like, you know what? I'm slipping on, like, following this whole process. So I'm just going to read it back. And what I like about that book, and others like it teaches you how to properly allocate your money so that it can always be there for you. And talking about in a relationship aspect, a question I ask when I'm on a date, so like, what all do you like to do?
Ooh.
And like, because you want to think about the multiple different ways that this person can show up for you. Like, what are their different attributes?
Yeah.
Do you just cook? Because I love me, I can cook. But, do you just cook and that's all I want you for? Or, you're good at these other things as well. When you think about money and the different pockets of how you can divvy that money up into your life, one of which is always there for you. One of which is always there for investments. One of which is always there to, if you have employees, pay out your employees. One of which is always there for vacation.
That part.
I want that multiple, all circle back, he's good all around. Get you one that could do both or multiple. So having that relationship, having a good education on how to utilize your money can fulfill those different things for you as well. So we encourage you to do that. We might drop you some links in the comments below or in the show notes below, just to get you started on your path. If you're interested in educating yourself more on money and the mindset around money, we would love to do that.
Yeah, because the mindset of money will catapult the money that you make in your business or in anything. So we just want to make sure you guys are having a strong foundation. And as you can basically know, it's the mindset of all things that does that for you. So we are excited that you were about to start dating money again, that you're going to start spending time with money in the various of ways that help you vibrate higher so that you can attract more of that money and abundance that's already around you more into your life's experience. Now, the best part of this episode is that we are so interactive that we got some journal prompts below for you. We want you to take those things in your Madeherselfaboss podcast journal and start writing it out and making it plain for yourself. And we even encourage you to get a journal and start your love relationship with money, right? So that you can forever keep it around you.
Exactly. So with that being said, one more thing, please leave us a review down below. We love hearing your feedback. If you have any more thoughts on the mindset of money, any lies you've been telling yourself, myths you've been telling yourself about money, please drop them below. Keep the conversation going.
Yeah.
But until then, we will be happy to see you on the next episode of the Madeherselfaboss podcast. Stay tuned.
Bye.